Hello everyone, Amanda Shushma here, beginner sewist here. Let's make a halter top together. This fabric is my first brand new fabric I bought. I usually work on thrifted stuff or stuff I already own, so I was excited. But as you can see, there's a lot of fraying, so we'll definitely have to take care of any of the raw edges. But I'm really excited to be working with brand new, never touched fabric. This was my mock-up for the halter top, so you get an idea of what I'm going for. And I think the mock-up was a great idea because I realized too much side boob is not really my preference. So we're definitely going to make sure we don't have that with this one. And I used a bikini top for reference, but I just needed to make it slightly bigger. And I did measure, but here's the thing. Measuring didn't really assist me at all because this is 100% cotton and it's cheap cotton from Walmart. And it's just very stiff. I did wash this, by the way. I washed it before using it and it was still really stiff. So the measuring just didn't help me, so I understand why sometimes people just cut the back open and make ties in the back. But yeah, just keep that in mind for whatever you're working on. And this will be the front and back piece that I'm using here. And then this is obviously the cup, but you see how the bottom both corners are square? Don't do that. Maybe make one side square, but make the other side curved, you feel? The part that goes towards your armpit could be square, but then the part that goes inwards should not be square. But don't worry, the product is still good and I fixed it. And this is me showing you how see-through it was, and so I needed to add lining, and I just happened to have the right color t-shirt I don't wear, so I kind of just traced the cups, and we're going to do the lining first. This is my assistant who decided to put claws into the fabric, so she's in timeout. So the top part of our cup where the strap is, we're going to leave that not sewn, but then sew around it, and that will be how we push this out. So I hope that made sense. Basically, we're sewing it inside out, and then we're going to use the opening to push it through, and then you have a nice cup where you don't see any of your seams or anything. Yeah. So one thing I did wrong was I didn't really pay attention to the corners when I was sewing, the bottom corners of a triangle, and so I didn't make it exactly like a triangle. Some of it came out a perfect square edge or something, and so it looked weird when I put it together. I did fix it by doing some hand sewing, and you'll see the result at the end was totally fine. But just keep that in mind, the cups should be more even, and I'll have to keep that in mind for any future projects. But yeah, just letting you know in case you're making your own halter. The first cup I did, flipping it inside out, was so easy, but the second one, I got mad because it took me 30 minutes and I wasn't getting anywhere. It's because I sewed the opening wonky, so yeah, keep that in mind. But yeah, this first one came out great, but the second one, I had to come back to it a different day because I was so frustrated. But this is what it looks like. I love the inside out method, so it looks just, I don't know, it looks more professional, So this was me working on the second one, and then the next clip you see where they're both done, that was a day later because I was so mad. That's why it's all wrinkly, because it took forever. But we all have sewing problems. So now we're working on the torso portion, and this is before I took care of those raw edges. If you have the same machine, I use stitch number 4, the zigzag stitch or overlock stitch. This is what it looks like. I know it's hard to see, and it's also not perfect, but you get the gist, and, the raw edges are good. Yeah, not perfect, I know, okay. So I put it on, and I was like, oh, it fits, but unfortunately, I forgot, you have to get it over your head and stuff, and this thing has no stretch. So love that for me if you're dealing with 100% cotton or a stiff material. Because I bought cheap cotton, then, just make sure to add more width. Yeah. So now I'm doing the hem of the bottom and the top piece. That will be around our stomach area, torso. And the bottom part, I did have to cut and redo because when I was kind of done with it all, it was a little too long for my liking. So I had to go back in and cut it and redo that hem. So I didn't film that because it just felt repetitive, but that's what happened. Look at this hem. I'm so proud of myself. Straight line, baby. We stayed in a straight line. 10 out of 10. Amazing me. So now for the cup, we're going to do that ruching method. So I'm basically doing a straight stitch with no back stitch. We're just doing a straight stitch across and no back stitching. And then basically you pull the strings and you kind of give it a little scrunch, a little ruche. So it's not just flat and your chest kind of has I don't know. It just looks better, okay? pull on the strings gently because this is my second time doing it for this cup, and I pulled it too hard the first time, so then I had to like, seam rip and redo it and just be gentle. But you see how it's scrunching? Yeah, just kind of get it how you want it. And this is what they look like. So the ends on each side, you can tie that after you kind of see how it looks like with the torso, make sure everything fits well. That's when you can tie those ends together. And I don't know, I just feel like the scrunching kind of helps it, like, I don't know, fit like your shape more if you have some yitties, you know what I mean? Yeah, so up to you. So now I have the entire thing pinned, and highly recommend, pinning it, wearing it, adjusting it before you sew this together, because then it'll be a headache to seam rip. So yeah, it took me like maybe half an hour to really like figure out how I wanted it to sit and look, and yeah, especially positioning the cups. Like one of them I had to put it like further down than the other one. So yeah, but you can't really tell on the outside, This is what we have so far, almost complete. The last thing needed are the straps to tie our little halter up. And like I said, I be winging things, so I just use the width of our halter to kind of gauge the width of the straps. And yeah, we're just going to create some tubes, going to do it the inside out method and then loop it through. So here are our lovely straps, and basically I just put like the halter top piece, I inserted it into the bottom, and that's how I sewed it. But look how good they came out. I'm so proud. And I apologize, but I didn't film anything else because I got mad, so here is the finished top. I sewed the straps by just doing straight stitches and back stitching it, and it came out really cute. The middle chest area where I said it was like weird, I just went ahead and hand sewed it so it kind of looks like it's overlapping, and I just like that look better. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. I'm happy with how this turned out. Turned out super cute. It's technically my second halter, but like not this style. It's the first one in this style I made. So yeah. Love it. Let me know if you guys like it, and please subscribe to see more videos from me. Would super appreciate it. Bye!